Alright, so this video is just going to be like kind of a quick little preview of what I'm going to review. Like the first few things you can expect me to review. And so first up we got Dune. And it's going to be a lot of repetition. So this is probably going to be like a Dune channel for a good minute. Like a Frank Herbert channel for a very long time. I don't know. It kind of depends on how much of these I put out, but yeah. So we got Dune, and then I'll go through. We'll do Dune Messiah next. This one is going to be what the next big Dune movie will be about. So that's exciting. And then there's Children of Dune. My favorite, God Emperor of Dune. And then let's see. We got Heretics of Dune and Chapter House Dune. So we got those 6. I'll just set those over there. And then we got the Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson Expanded Universe Dune books. Now these were received with like kind of mixed reviews. It's some people hate them, some people love them, some people just kind of don't really care and will just read it as sci-fi, which is kind of where I'm at. It's like I can understand why some people don't like these, but at the same time I like them just for the mere fact that I think they're good sci-fi stories. Maybe not amazing Dune stories, but it's regardless. They're all still fun reads. So we got the House trilogy, so House Atreides, Harkonnen, and Carino. And these kind of explain, the backstory of the Emperor, the old Duke Leto, and the Baron Harkonnen. And this is kind of the generation before Paul Atreides. And then we got, and the, most of Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson's books were released, they released them in trilogies. So, with a few exceptions, probably being the House trilogy and the Legends of Dune trilogy, I'm probably going to review the Schools of Dune and the Caladan trilogy all together, all in one video. So, for this is the Legends of Dune. This tells the story of the Butlerian Jihad and why computers are banned in the main 6 books. And so this one is my favorite Dune story made by Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson, next to Hunters of Dune and Mentats of Dune. This one specifically I liked a lot. It was super good, had good pacing, good little plot twist. No, not much of a plot twist, if you already know what's about to happen, but yeah. And then Machine Crusade. This takes place around 20 years later. This book is big. This one took me a number of weeks to get through. It was a long book. And then the Battle of Corran, and that closes out this trilogy. I think out of all their Dune stories, they were probably strongest in these 6 books. I think a lot of people really liked them. And then, once we get past that, it's when people start to lose faith in Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson. But next we got the sequels. Now, the way Frank Herbert wrote these was that he had this as a trilogy, this as its own, God Emperor as its own book, and then he planned to have a second Dune trilogy, except he unfortunately passed away before he could write that last Dune book. So what Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson did was they took some notes they found in a deposit box and they made it into 2 books. And this one is where they lost a lot of people because they felt that this wasn't a proper ending to Dune. I think this book, Hunters of Dune, I think is extremely good. I think this was very much, the ideas in here feel very much like Frank Herbert's kind of writing and his kind of way of coming up with ideas. Sandworms of Dune was good. I think, the very last ending of it wasn't actually what Frank Herbert intended, but I can't really say that with full confidence. It was just, the ending was kind of, anticlimactic. A good way to describe it. And then after that, they released, and I got this in a big hardcover, Paul of Dune. This takes place in between Dune and Dune Messiah, and it tells some stories that happened during Paul's jihad. And I ended up liking that one a lot. And then they released another book a lot like that, except it takes place in between Dune Messiah and Children of Dune. This one, it had the same feel as the last book, but I preferred Paul of Dune, but that would be next up that I review. And then after that, Kevin J. Anderson and Brian Herbert return to their distant past kind of storyline, and they do Sisterhood of Dune, Mentats of Dune, and Navigators of Dune. This kind of ties up a few loose ends left at the end of the Butlerian Jihad, and this one being my favorite from that trilogy. Takes it in a very different direction. This definitely feels it feels a lot less like Dune and more like sci-fi, but yeah, it's still good. I still liked it a lot. And then after that, we got the Caladan trilogy. So we got the Duke of Caladan, Lady of Caladan, the Heir of Caladan. Now, all these take place in the year preceding Dune. Honestly, they're actually all really good. I really enjoyed them. I didn't have much to say against them. And then, let's see here. I gotta find them somewhere. Oh, there we go. I'll just edit this out. And then we have the Road to Dune. We got this book. And Sands of Dune. This one was just called Dune Expanded Edition. So all these are just collections of short stories. I'm probably going to do all three of those in the same video. And they also have a lot of repeat stories in between them. Road to Dune actually had a predecessor short novel that was supposed to be, that was the like original Dune before he scrapped a lot of it and redid it. So very, very interesting stuff. And then after that, I was going to review the non-Dune books by Frank Herbert. Because he was a very prevalent sci-fi author even before Dune was published. And so I think the first one, I'm just going to do them in the order that I have read them. So we got the Santaroga Barrier first, and that book is extremely good. I very much enjoyed it. And then after that, and this is what I'm reading currently, Whipping Star. I'm nearly done with it. It's, in my opinion, I think it's some of his best work. It's really close with God Emperor of Dune. A lot of the writing in there is similar. It's much less action and a lot more conversations and like spreading ideas. And then I got a lot more here. So I got this lot of Frank Herbert books. And I'm going to make a separate video on that collection. And then I'm not going to show all of these on my desk, but I also have quite a few Star Wars books. I'll make sure to review those. And I got a lot more sci-fi books. I got some older like Jules Verne books, H.P. Lovecraft stories, and just a few generic sci-fi stories, but I still wanted to read them and give out a review on those.